What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about an interesting theory that I've seen floating around the internet in terms of abandon. Yes, yet again, we're going back to the well. No, but this is honestly very different. This is something that I've never thought of before, and I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool theory, and I want to talk about kind of the pros and cons, just kind of being honest about it, because I do think there's a lot of things that sound good, and some things, some ways of looking at it that I would see as, I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, so basically what this theory boils down to is that Abandon, or this real-time app, is not actually just one game. Now, you can go into the different avenues of it. What we know is that this game by Blue Box Game Studios isn't actually called Abandoned, okay? They've early on, they put it in quotation marks. They're kind of on and off. They've put the name Abandoned in quotations, and they've declared that's not the actual name of the game. The game will, get a name, and obviously, the whole starts with an S, ends with an L, and people would go to Silent Hill. It could be one word. It doesn't have to be two. It could be 15 words. It could be whatever, but that's pretty much what we know. And we know what this real-time app is doing, okay? Now, we don't know what it's going to show at the end. Obviously, there's been some pictures shown on the app over the past couple days, one that reminds people very, very much of PT, which I have seen. I didn't want to make a video specifically for that, but I've seen those rumors. So again, the theory basically boils down to it's not one game. It's actually more of a marketing or like a promotional campaign for, or like a launch for a lot of different things, okay? It could be some sort of, not like a publishing arm, but again, more like a marketing thing for a couple different studios that are making games exclusive to PlayStation. Okay, so that's pretty much what the theory, and it literally is just like a thought that people have come up with, and it's kind of, I've seen it here and there around the internet, and I really like it. I like the idea a lot. And again, so why does it sound good and why does it sound bad? Well, the good in it is, I like the idea because we've seen a lot of conflicting reports. Is it Silent Hill? Is it Metal Gear? Is it a third game? Is it all of them? Is it, okay, obviously, could it be none of them, right? We could, I guess for the purpose of this video, we're going to have to just go along with the ride, that there's more to it than just, like they're not playing us. There actually is something like more extreme or more big going on here. If you don't believe that, I don't really think the video, because this video obviously kind of rests on that belief, right? So if it is a couple different things, well, then it's not one game. So maybe it is, this entire app is meant for more than one thing to be shown. The way the app is talked about, very ambiguous, and also just like the scope is actually kind of big. If you read out what Hassan has said, or you read out what Blue Box Game Studios has said on Twitter, like it's actually more like a revolutionary way of experiencing trailers and info for an upcoming product. That's pretty much, because it's going to be using the 3D audio, it's going to be using the DualSense. They can get things on the app in like real time. They press a button and it's there. So, and they've praised, the PlayStation 5 and the SSD and stuff. It does sound like it could be like a hub for more than one thing. You know what I mean? That I think no matter what you believe in, I think that's true. Or like if none of it's true, the way they're handling kind of rolling out this app and what they're going to be doing with this app, I do feel like could be copied and could be done by many other developers and publishers down the road. I feel like that would be smart. So, if it only is one thing, I think others will still kind of copy it and it'll be more than one thing. But, obviously, I guess again, for the case of the video, the idea of this specific app on the PS5, it could be more than one thing. The idea of the name, Abandoned, why are they calling it that? What was the actual reason all the way, at the very beginning? Why was it called that? Is it because these are all games that have been abandoned? Now, that goes into one of the negatives that I do want to say, and I'm not going to make you wait. I'll say it right now. So I like that idea. I like that theory that, they're literally playing with the word, and they're more or less, recognizing and realizing out loud that like these are games that we've had that have been abandoned in some way, and this is an app, this is an experience. Blue Box Game Studios is like a marketing thing for these kind of games, and I like that. I think that's very clever. I think that honestly is pretty bold. The issue is Sony man enough to admit something like that in this scope, because if they do this, they're basically admitting these are games that we left on the side of the road. And a lot of them wouldn't, like, okay, so for like Metal Gear, like 5 wasn't a PlayStation exclusive. So why would you consider, and like, was 6 even abandoned? Like, you know, the way Kojima ended with Konami, they never, like, they weren't like making 6 and they fired him. Like, they all knew once 5 was done, he's getting kicked out. You know what I mean? So like 6 wasn't really abandoned. Silent Hill, was that abandoned? Like PT was, and PT was on. The only thing I guess that makes this theory in this way, this one aspect of the theory, the only thing that makes it hold is PT, in my opinion, because PT obviously was something established for PlayStation only, and it literally was abandoned, okay? And again, so, I mean, well, the first part of that is, well, only one game really fits that. Are there other games you would consider abandoned? Like, could a Sly Cooper appear on this app? You know what I mean? Like, but would Sony, like, step up and say, yeah, we abandoned the franchise? Like, that sounds bad. You know what I mean? And do they want to sound bad in that way? Again, it sounds maybe stupid or silly, but I really think it's a bigger deal once you think about it. And then again, the other one is that really only one game fits in that mold. I mean, we don't have many games to go off of. The idea that it could be more than one thing stems from, well, is it Metal Gear and Silent Hill? Is it Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and something else? Is it Silent Hill and something else? Like, it could very well be two things, but we don't know that, you know, and based off the examples that we do have, PT/Silent Hill was abandoned. Silent Hill before that was not abandoned by PlayStation. Metal Gear was not abandoned by PlayStation. So why name it this? Okay, so that I would say is, you know, obviously you could just say, well, the biggest weakness in the theory is it could just not be true. You could just say, well, I don't believe it, and the discussion would be over. If you're really breaking down the aspects of it, though, I think that's the biggest, or maybe even the only thing I would point to and say, I have a real problem with that. I don't know if Sony would step up and admit that for the world. You know what I mean? I feel like they're too cocky. And really, and not even just a Sony thing, no company is going to do that. No company is going to admit, I believe, on that kind of scale, that they've abandoned all of these games and they've like left them for dead. But I like the idea. I really, really do. I think it holds some weight to it. I think the leaks and rumors that it could be a Metal Gear game, with it very obviously leaning Silent Hill, is making people believe, you know, it could be, maybe it's both of them. I don't know, just, again, the game's not called Abandoned. Now, I guess they have described it as it's a video game, and a video game meaning singular. It's one game. So if you go based off of what they say, they themselves, Blue Box Game Studios, hasn't exactly hinted that they're working on more than one thing. But again, if they're not actually even developers, right? If this whole thing is what we think, and Blue Box Game Studios isn't actually Blue Box Game Studios, they could be whatever. They could say they're a developer now, and then a few weeks from now, we could learn that they are, again, they're like a marketing firm for like a couple different games that they thought they would, like, you know, they got Sony's approval and everybody put this together, and this was their fun way of announcing a couple different games that some would consider abandoned. I mean, that could very easily happen. So the things they say now honestly matter not at all. It doesn't matter one bit once we see it in 2 weeks, and if things are vastly different, then everything they said up to this point has been a lie anyway, right? But I think it's possible. I like the idea. I like the idea that this app is so big and so different and so much pushed by them, that would you do it for? And I mean, that's the thing that I've always said, right? You guys have heard me say in the videos. I think a lot of people have said it. It never made sense from the beginning to do this app experience for such a small game. So either the game is much bigger than we think it is, in my opinion, or it could be that, no, the app is kind of like this is a launch for the app, but it's for a couple different things. It's not just for one, and that's why this app experience is going to take off. Not because of one small indie game made from like 10 people. No, because it's a big game, but maybe it's also multiple big games. So it's fun to think about. I like the theory. I don't 100% believe it, as I'm going to stick with it. I hope I'm wrong, by the way. I still believe Blue Box Game Studios is connected to Hideo Kojima, like they are him, or they're like some sort of company that works with him or works for him. I do think they're connected, but I'm not sold on it being either Metal Gear or Silent Hill. But I do think it's Kojima. And, you could say, well, why would it be Kojima without being either of the other two? Yeah, that's a good argument. And I'm going to kind of hold my theory there because that's kind of where my prediction has been for like a couple months now. So I'm going to leave it there until, we get our answers. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think it's more than one thing? Do you think it is just one game, one big game? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Leave a like on the video, would definitely help. And as always, again, all my social media is in the description below. We have a Twitter. We have a second channel. Would love to have you guys, following us there and subscribing there. We also have a Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links, again, are in the description. The join button for YouTube memberships is obviously next to the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope to see you all on the next video.